And I want to talk about this picture that I saw on the internet, and I think it's great. EK was talking about how like this has become a trend where there's like words hidden in a picture and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So if you want to bring up that pic, they say art, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and that, that's what art is. If it invokes some sort of feeling or it makes some sort of statement, that's what art is. Now, obviously, this thing was created digitally. If it wasn't, it's pretty amazing work. But this picture, I mean, it's one of the most poignant ones I've seen all year. I mean, when I saw this, I looked at it for a while. I'm still looking at it, just in awe of how powerful it is. And it's because this picture makes a statement. This picture makes a statement. It's like this. These are the wages of Black Lives Matter. This is the legacy of Black Lives Matter.
I feel like we need to really give it so people can see. I feel like this needs to happen.
Yeah, if you go ahead.
So you can just see how that's amazing.
Yes, it is amazing, and it's like I said, it's the legacy of Black Lives Matter. It's a destroyed city. It's a 3-story building. God knows how many homes destroyed. God knows how many businesses destroyed. American cities burned, looted, destroyed because of a temper tantrum, because of a series of temper tantrums. All right. And it's all started around Ferguson. And Ferguson was under Obama's watch, and Obama wasn't going to do anything, obviously. All right. But like Minneapolis and stuff like that, some of that happened under Trump's watch. And even Trump didn't do anything about it. All right. When all that stuff started happening, I was shocked. I was bewildered at why law enforcement wasn't out there with riot shields, with tear gas, breaking up these crowds, sending people home, making some arrests. You don't have to arrest everyone. Making some arrests and prosecuting them in order to show that this is not how you behave in American society. Because Americans died.
That Chaz stuff.
Yes.
Way out of control.
I'll come to that. I'll come to the Chaz stuff. That's a whole different thing if you ask me. All right. But this Black Lives Matter thing happened, and people are like, yeah, Black lives do matter. And you're right. Black lives do matter. It's a very obvious statement. All right. And so people started making GoFundMes and stuff like that. People started raising money for the whole Black Lives Matter movement. All right. And those people, what do they do? What did they do with that money? They bought themselves houses. They hooked themselves up, and that's it. All right. It's been a scam since the beginning. The entire reason that you're saying Black Lives Matter is for the fictional concept that you think police are out there shooting black people with impunity. And that is simply not the case. All you got to do is go watch some of those videos, those body cam videos, and you see so many black people in these videos. They're arguing, they're fighting, they're running from police. And let me tell you something. If you really thought that the cops were killing black people with impunity, you would not behave that way around cops. All right? You're not fooling anyone with this nonsense. All right? America isn't racist anymore unless you keep going down this path, and then you're going to make racists. There's going to be people who see the way that they behave, and they're going to say, hey, it must be because of an immutable characteristic. When actually the failure, I think, is really the government. People have always rioted in every government, every civilization. There have always been riots, but the government has to step up and do what is needed in order to stop that kind of behavior from continuing.
There were no riots in the Roman Empire.
Yes, there were riots in the Roman Empire. What are you talking about? That's why they did feasts of bread, for months, gladiator games, and give the people bread to keep them from rioting. What I'm saying is to give everybody bread. We all want from a big French loaf, you know what I mean? And we'll stop with the riots. Garlic, give me some garlic bread. All right. So Black Lives Matter, it was always a scam because you don't need, if you say that, it's because you think that people don't think that that's true, but it's obviously true. But you know what? A lot of people didn't want to send a bunch of police in to start arresting a bunch of people because they were scared of the quote unquote optics of a bunch of black people being arrested. A bunch of black people being prosecuted and sent to jail because they broke the law. Because they think that somebody's going to take that and say, oh, that's going to prove how America's a racist country. It's like, no, it's not about race. It's about breaking the law. And if you allow people to continue breaking the law just because of the color of their skin, that's racism. How do you not get this? All right. Every time you watch one of those police body cam videos, it's like, oh, you just pulled me over because I'm black or something like that. It's just like, cops, when they talk to you, they have a reason. Your taillight's out, and so frequently you'll see like this guy's a taillight out. He's on the radio. He pulls somebody over. This guy's a taillight out. I'm about to go to lunch. I'll just take care of this real quick. Next thing you know, he's just arguing with this guy on the side of the road for 20 minutes about racism and stuff. And it's like, that's not, America isn't a racist country unless you continue to make it a racist country. All right? And that's the point. When you start saying things like Black Lives Matter, it starts like, and you stop prosecuting people based upon the color of their skin, or you don't want to arrest people because you don't want the optics, you don't want all the phone footage of black people getting arrested and being chopped and cut into different contexts so it looks like it's a racist thing when it's not. Instead, you're going to give them room to riot. You're going to give them room to burn cities down. All right? And then Black Lives Matter got all this momentum. And you know what happened during all of that? The Antifa movement hopped on it, piggybacked upon the BLM movement. And those were white people. All right? Don't get me wrong. Black Lives Matter and Antifa are two different things. There is a little bit of crossover. But the point is that Antifa piggybacked on the Black Lives Matter movement. And the next thing you know, you got a bunch of crazy hippie white kids, rich white kids, taking over Chaz Chop in Seattle, making autonomous zones. And they're like, oh, well, we don't want the bad press of anyone being arrested or prosecuted. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? But that's the point. Everything I've said is what this picture inspires in me. It's the truth of the Black Lives Matter movement, which is a burned, destroyed American society. Those Black Lives Matter, I've always agreed with that sentence. All right? Obviously, Black Lives Matter. But nobody wants to talk about all the black people killing other black people in Chicago and Baltimore and St. Louis, Ferguson, Missouri, Minneapolis, all these cities. Nobody wants to cover those kinds of murders. Nobody wants to talk about that. Instead, you'll let these like black people, anyone with non-white skin, do whatever they want and don't even put it on TV. But one white guy walks into the Capitol building in a fuzzy hat. Oh, Lord, we got to have hearings. We got to have trials. We got to send people to jail for 20 years or so because that guy is white. And it's okay to prosecute white people. So if you want to look at this picture and see that me posting this picture or talking about this picture is what makes me racist, you don't understand racism.